This video is brought to you by Airmaster Systems. This is the Titan box core installation video. In the installation of your box core, you will need the two main uprights. You will notice there's a horizontal bar that is on the lower side of the halfway point. Your kit will come with floor brackets, sometimes the optional core alignment brackets for multiple units, as well as your bottom panels for the fronts of the units and the rear. You will also find the middle support bracket as well as the top support bracket. For installation, you're going to need a power drill, a socket, the appropriate bolts that come with it, as well as the appropriate washers. Let's turn our upright to the inside and begin to place our first support. Let's start with the top support. As you can see in the video, we have chose to lay it on a table for ease of use in the video. Place a washer over each bolt and hand tighten the bolts into place. Now that all of the bolts are positioned, take your power drill and tighten the bolts down. They are nice and secure. Let's move the unit down to the floor. Repeat the same process to the opposite side as you did before, by hand tightening all of the bolts first and then applying the power drill to finish them up. Now let's take the middle support and place it into the center between the two uprights. The correct way facing would be the tabs pointed towards the bottoms of the uprights. Exactly as you did previously, place the washers over the bolts and hand tighten them into place first. Once they are all secure, take your power drill and tighten them up the rest of the way. Now that all of the bolts are tightened, you will notice that your structure is very secure. Let's begin mounting the floor brackets. Take the inside flat edge of the bracket and place it towards the inside where the screw holes are. Place your washers over the bolts and hand tighten them into the unit like you did in the previous steps. This is going to be a very important part as we're going to need the adjustability before we secure these into place. Each unit comes with 4 leveling feet. These are going to be placed directly into the bottom of the uprights by twisting them into place. As you know, floors are not always perfectly even, so these are very helpful in adjusting the height and angle to make sure you get a good level fit. Keeping the floor brackets loose, it allows them to work together very easily with the leveling feet to make sure everything becomes perfectly square and flat in the end. Next, you will need a Phillips screwdriver head as well as the self-tapping screws. We are going to start to place the bottom panels into the unit. On the outsides of these panels, you will notice the pre-tapped holes. You will also find the same type of pre-tapped holes in the sides of the structure of the uprights. These are what you're going to align the bottom panels with. Taking your drill, you're going to now place the screws into place. Start by tapping them very slowly and increasing the speed as you go. Once you have the 2 top screws secured, then begin to place the bottom screws into the unit. This will complete the process for the panels. The 2 holes in the bottom of the floor bracket are for you to decide what type of fastener you're going to use to anchor this to the floor. Make sure before it is anchored, everything is perfectly aligned and level, so that way when you do fasten down the bolts, everything is flush. Take your remaining bottom panel and set it into place. You're going to repeat the exact same process as you did before with the previous bottom panel. This completes the basic installation of your box core structure. There are a multitude of accessories and filler panels for the sides of the core as well as on the front edges. Please see additional videos for instructions on how to install those options.